Thank you for picking up the Sticks. This is episode 113, Sticks Gaming Podcast. I am Mike Carnett. To my right, Mike Steak Carnia.
What's going on?
To my left, Art, the Garbage Man Rosian.
Ew. If anyone ever asks me what my job is at this point in life, I just tell them I'm a garbage man.
Yeah.
Because if you do something useful, people want stuff from you.
And how many? I can't imagine this.
And if you ask me to take your garbage out when I'm at your house, I'm gonna punch you.
I can't imagine that's a big, conversation starter either, which I think is a plus for
Good,
you.
yeah. I want to shut. I want to shut that shit down right away. If you don't know me well enough to know what I do for a living, I mean, we can talk, but I really don't want to getting to know you. That's like third time I've seen you at a party type conversation.
Yeah, Beth likes to call that get into the whole rigmarole of the whole thing because she always says that wrong for some reason.
That's third date questioning what I actually do for a job.
Anyway, all right, so we're kind of in a lull here. Not a whole lot going on. I mean, we had 2 episodes in a row that we had put over 2 hours in, so
we're gonna try to wrap this up in about 35 minutes.
I do have something I want to present here. Present to the audience. It'll be quick. Kind of a little bit of a callback too, but like I said, without further ado, let's get this started. Steak, which plane?
All right. Not too much, but a lot of one thing. Yakuza 5. I decided to stick with it.
Okay.
I finished it. It took me 40 hours, and I completed 7% of the game.
Wait, hold on.
I thought you said you finished it.
Yeah, well,
let's do math here.
Main story.
40 hours?
40 hours.
Yeah,
Don't forget to carry the 3.
Yeah.
It's going to take a minute.
That's okay.
It's like a 600-hour game.
Yeah.
I'll say roughly, right? Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
So seriously though, this game, like other Yakuza games, there's plenty of side quests and stuff that you could see on the map, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get all this stuff I could do. This one was insane with the amount of extra stuff you could do in this game. It was absolutely insane.
How would you know? You only completed 7%.
I know. Oh no, because I saw it all, and I had to keep constantly running around to avoid it, just to get through the story.
The completely empty, unachieved trophy list. No,
I can't believe you didn't get any trophies in this game. I beat it. I swear.
I got 1.
It's funny because actually 4 and 5, I got the least amount of trophies out of any of the Yakuza games, and they're the ones that have the most stuff in it, because that's why they want you to do a whole bunch of stuff. Which normally though in other games too, I've done a lot of the side quests and stuff like that. But I'm getting to crunch time here, so I was like, all right, I need to get through these games. But yeah, so I'm glad I stuck with it. It was once I got past the hunting that I was struggling with before, then it turned into a rhythm RPG game, because I finally got to play as Haruka, which is kind of like Kiryu's adopted daughter in a way, not officially, but basically, and she's becoming a teen idol. So that kind of where the rhythm stuff comes in, and of course, Japanese, J-pop teen idol.
God, there's waiting to shoehorn that into the story somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. Thankfully, I mean, it lasts. It's by the end of the game. Spoiler alert! That was the end of that dream. So, in a good way.
Is your cat all right?
Huh?
He hasn't moved in like 5 minutes.
He loves he's good.
For both,
he's a zen. When he's in a box, he's zen.
Yeah, for both the audio and video listeners right now, that cat is literally just sitting in a box and staring at a wall, and it's about 6 inches away from the wall right now, just staring.
Weird.
At
hasn't
the wall.
moved in like 5.
Really weird. I mean, his ears are moving, so he's alive.
It's 9:27. Let's see how long this lasts.
Yeah, I moved a little bit. After the second snap, he moved a little bit.
He's found a new spot on the wall.
So this one also had the same thing. We got to play as 4 different characters. You get to play as Kiryu again. You get to play as Sejima again, and Akiyama. So Haruka was the new one that you got to play as. But it was kind of, honestly though, it was they actually did for being 4 kind of crazy stories with kind of an underlying thing going on. The way they got into the finale and wrapped it up was really genius. Like the story was awesome. It was really, really well done. It was very interesting. And then thank God I have 6 already, because the way that game ends, I would have been freaking out. Like what the hell?
Good. So
you can't end it this way. It was one of those kind of feelings. No, you can't do this.
So it's like we were binge watching a TV show, and at the end of a season, you're like, thank God the series has been over for 5 years. I can just watch the rest of it, dude.
Exactly. Oh, thank God. So I did pop on 6 briefly. I'm still in chapter 1. I haven't really had much time to dive into that too much because this is just a couple of days ago. I finished up 5. But it's crazy because like so 4 and 5 like those were like the PS3 remasters. So like 60 frames, still 1080, but like old engine and stuff. Where 5 was kind of like that where they started evolving to the Dragon engine they use now. And 6 was like the first time they used the Dragon engine. And then after that, Judgment used it. So 6 is kind of like here's like a big increase from 5. But since I've already played through Judgment fixed a lot of these issues. Some issues that I'm having currently. That like I'm like, oh, I didn't have those problems in Judgment, but I'm kind of having them here. Just kind of like graphically and just kind of gameplay wise a little bit. But I'm excited to jump into this story, and I got a month to do it, so I got plenty of time. This is supposed to be a lot shorter, I think, from the How Long to Beat website. I think this one said about 22 hours. I'm usually right on par with what they've said so far with the Yakuza games, or like just under. So, and that's just story. So that's without the subquests or anything like that. So this one I might do a little bit more, just to since I have time before the new one on November 10th. So yeah, that's pretty much all my time's going.
All Yakuza all the time.
All Yakuza all the time.
Art.
Yo.
Which plane?
Outside of the huge.
Oh, the huge.
Pick back up Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm up to chapter 14 in that game.
Oh, nice. Getting there.
Out of
16, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you are really
you're getting there. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. Yeah.
I think it's 16 because I was looking something up because I have a gripe about chapter 14. Hang on.
I think that is kind of when things go a little different.
Is that when they diverge from like the original in terms of like story wise?
It's not even so much that I have a gripe with. I mean, there is part of it there that I have a gripe with. Somehow, Wedge is still alive and Jesse and Biggs are dead, which I would have kept either of those two over him. But so when chapter 14 starts, this is after the plate has fallen on Sector 7, and you link back up with Tifa and Barrett, and Aerith gets captured, saving Marlene from the bar. It puts you back, starts you back off at Aerith's house,
right,
with Tifa and Barrett, and you're going back out there to basically finish this game. And when you start off chapter 14, it kicks off. You have odd jobs to do, and it's all side quests.
Right.
There's 9 side quests in this chapter. The game as a whole only has 24 side quests. 40% of the side quests are in one chapter.
And right for kind of a big event, too.
Right after a big event, right before another big event.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, yeah, you just finished the one big event. You're like, all right, it's ramping up here now. We're going to go to the Shinra HQ and do all that stuff. And
hold on. I need you to go pick flowers.
Yeah. And these the side quests are not like, most of them are like, go here, do this thing. It's like, the doctor needs 3 ingredients for a medicine. Here's some vague clues on where you can find them.
Yeah, that was a pain.
And it's like,
some of them were very like, what the hell?
They're not giving you waypoints on the map for where these things are. So to be perfectly honest, I've been going through them and just using a guide to find all the stuff because I ain't got time for this shit. It's really annoying the way I think that they went about it too, with just kind of giving you clues and sending you off on your own. Because the biggest difference about this thing in my eyes all along is that this is a linear game. It's not an open world game like Final Fantasy anything ever was. And this one's linear, and now they're kind of like, okay, you have this small chunk of the world and the game, and go find all this hidden stuff with vague clues. And it's one of those things. I'm going through and doing the side quests because I don't plan on playing this again, so I want to see what all this crap is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really annoying that just they took 40% of the side quests in the game and crammed them into one chapter.
Yeah.
And like, if you go start the story portion of this chapter, you can't go back and do those side quests, I don't think, because it's like,
yeah, I think it kind of
they give you a prompt like, do you want to go into the sewers? You're not going to be able to go back once you do this.
Right.
So that's kind of holding me up. The combat system of the game, I didn't like it initially. It's growing on me. For me, it's a lot more fun playing when I have Barrett and Tifa in my party than when I had Aerith. One thing that does annoy me about the combat is, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but there's no way to set like a strategy for individual characters. So like Aerith and Barrett, typically their weapons are ranged. You can have them stay at distance and attack. And when I was playing with Aerith and even now in the party, and even now with Barrett in the party, like if I switch off of them and go to someone else, they charge like balls deep in whatever this giant enemy is I'm fighting, and they just get obliterated when they could have stayed on the other side of the goddamn battle area and just fired their gun or launched their pixies from their wand or whatever the hell Aerith does.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying because it's like I'll be in there with Cloud or Tifa who have to be in close because they have melee weapons.
Right.
And then I have to switch off and go to Barrett and pull him all the way back out and then switch back to do what I was doing. I wish there was just a way to choose like
stay this many meters away
like
from that guy.
Ranged.
Yeah.
You fight ranged. Don't go in ever.
I'm trying to remember.
I looked through the menus. I couldn't find anything. I mean, granted, I took like a 6-month break between when I was playing it, so I might be missing a mechanic here, but
yeah, I can't remember.
Exactly. I haven't found it anywhere in the settings or menus or anything, so I'm thinking it's not really there. But like even in the original Final Fantasy VII, like granted, different combat, turn-based, but you could set people in the back row if they had ranged weapons, and they would take less damage, and they could do the same damage because it was a ranged weapon. Like not having some kind of command to do that is really just annoying the piss out of me when I have to keep pulling one of those two like out of the enemy to go back where they were. But I mean, the combat is growing on me. It's still not my favorite combat system in the world, but like I said, I enjoy it a lot more when I have the 3 people in the party with Tifa and Barrett as opposed to 2 people with Cloud and Aerith.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm sure I'll probably finish it up before our next podcast, I would assume. I'm kind of just chipping away little by little at these side quests that have just slowed my progress in the story to a fucking halt. And that's, like, I had to go back and look, because every other, like, in the chapters in the game that have had side quests, it's like 2 or 3. Yeah, you have, like, 2 or 3 at most, and this one just drops 9 in your lap. It's like, all right, here's in the menu, there's, like, a tab or a page or whatever you want to call it for side quests. So when you start this, it just shows 9 blocks with question marks for side quests that can be done. Oof. And as somebody who's just trying to go through and like check the boxes to get the full experience, it's kind of annoying. That's it. That's all I played.
All right.
I've never been so angry about something and enjoyed it at the same time.
Yeah, I was say like I was literally gonna say like I don't know. So what's your read on it so far?
I like the game. This one chapter is just really pissing me off.
Nothing's perfect.
I was gonna say that's the thing. I mean, like that was the thing with like Final Fantasy 15. Like a lot of people were like, "Hey, actually, we're really enjoying this game," but Chapter 13 was pretty rough, like whatever. And like I had no issues with the way it was, but like but that was the thing. A lot of people, I think that's kind of just when you're making a game. It's just like I feel like they get to a certain point where it's just like, okay, we don't want to finish it yet, but what can we make the player do? Just so they're
we
not,
promised a full game.
Like,
how are we gonna do this?
Yeah,
like, even if they took out those 9 side quests like this chapter, like the way it's set up. I mean,
there's not a whole lot story wise that's going on.
No, now, no. This is just like a hey. Let's help. Here's some help to level up your materia and get that going. Like that's kind of like all it is.
Really. I think another part of it that might be bothering me is that you're doing this all in Sector 5, where Aerith's house is and her town and everything. And like 3 or 4 chapters earlier, you're already spending a lot of time in that town, doing missions and side quests. So.
But there were so many areas like you were not allowed to go before that. Now you can open up. Now everything's open. And you can even go all the way back to the church if you want.
Yeah, and I will. One of the side quests basically unlocks a fast travel system, which thank God.
That is
because if it didn't do that, I would probably just be skipping a bunch of these because
that's a lifesaver.
I don't have time to be running from the far top of the map to the far bottom of the map to hit a waypoint on a side quest.
Oh yes, I know exactly. Yeah.
Mike, what have you been playing?
No, thank you. More Tony Hawk 1 and 2. I am, man.
You and your guide videos?
I am just one. I could not find. I had to do 4 gaps in one of them. I forget which one it was. And I could not find the 4th one to save my life. And I thought I did that one, and it was like, okay, I must have just missed it or something. I don't know, but I definitely already found it. But I was just an idiot, I guess. Man, Tony Hawk 2 is so much better than 1. Like everything about it, and it's really, and now like it's funny too. Like the first, there are 2 competitions in this one. I just blocked it from my memory apparently from the last time we spoke about it. But the first competition, the map is the same map that was on the PlayStation demo disc I played a lot of.
Okay.
So
Nice.
at this point too, I played that game enough to have my muscle memory back, and I was pretty good at the game back in the day, and I'm doing pretty good now. But yeah, my
brag about it.
I am. Well, I'm not done bragging about it yet. Actually, my first, because you do 3 runs and you take the two best heats, and that's your total. I finished with a 98 overall.
Nice.
So I demolished that competition on my first try because I was my third run was literally just me collecting like the skill points. And stuff like that. I didn't do anything else. Yeah, that game is still great. NCAA 13 also still great. I got the Lobos to the national championship game, and then Florida State demolished me, which is how it should be. Which is how it should be. I took that defeat with a smile on my face.
You're like that year that Northern Illinois got put into one of the BCS games.
Yeah,
Against Florida State.
oh yeah,
I got destroyed.
And it was one of those things. I was just like, I can't stop them doing anything. My guys are so much slower than theirs. So I was like, okay, this is fine.
That's good. I mean, honestly, for a sports game, especially college, where there is that much of a discrepancy between that top end talent and like your middle of the road talent, that's the way it should be.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to stop that guy, commit to double teaming him, and then you're going to leave an opening somewhere else in the defense, and that's kind of the way sports games should be.
And it wasn't like, oh, here comes a long bomb down. No, it was just like meticulously like picking my guys apart down the
7-yard runs every play.
It was ridiculous. So I was like, I wasn't going to win that game.
7-yard runs and 3 broken tackles every play,
which is totally fine.
Now, like 4 years down the road, when you have a better team with better players, that shouldn't be happening.
I'm going to stomp them just for payback.
You're going to wait till your team's loaded, and then you're going to schedule them every year.
Yeah. Well, I do. Well, no, not Florida, but I had to have a Texas and a California game every year.
Nice.
All right. I did pop back in Red Dead 2.
Rice and
well, one of the I think Texas really garbage schools.
North Texas.
It might be, or Texas State or something like that is in my
Texas State West. Is the school from like unnecessary roughness or something.
So my team also looks like that. It looks like an XFL team. Pop back in Red Dead 2. I was in it. I loaded a save earlier in the game, which kind of wipes my progress afterwards. But I really don't care because I'm not really playing the story.
Right.
I'm just kind of like wandering around and collecting things and doing whatever. I just wanted to be Arthur again. I didn't want to be the other character later on because he is just so much better. However, it also I think it did give me a bit of pause when I got there because I was like, all right, I'm going to catch the legendary fish. And I was looking at the map for legendary fish, and there are 2 of them in the restricted area, which I don't know if I could do. And I tried to get to that restricted area by running my horse really quick through it, by running
some laser guided missile blows you
by
up.
sneaking. I tried to buy boat, and my boat sunk
Again,
like out of nowhere for no reason.
CJ for San Andreas shows up and just lights you up on a drive-by.
More or less. So it was just like, and like it was like he's with that gang, and they just when I'm dead. So it's like, okay, well, I can't even get to these.
Suddenly, the people in that area have automatic weapons that won't exist for another 100 years.
Yeah, so like that's one of those things. Like I probably am done with this, unfortunately. Now I can do other things still. There's still a 5 bajillion things to collect and do and whatever. I didn't look at the legendary animal, like because the hunting, because they might be in that area too. I don't know. There might be like a legendary armadillo in the armadillo section, but I don't know. So a couple of new things I've been playing. I've now given, for a second try, Dishonored. So I bought it on the PlayStation 3. I bought it again on the PlayStation 4. And I was just like, it's just been sitting there staring me at the face for a long time. I was like, no, I'm just going to give this a whirl. And just like last time, too, it just doesn't click with me. And I don't know why. I think, like, when you start the game, it's like, your name is Corvo. You're a guard. You're like the head guard for the queen of the land. And the game starts with you coming on a boat after a 2-month-long trip that you're going to these other kingdoms because there's a plague in the town, and it's basically the surrounding towns are like coordinating you off and be like, okay, let's see how they deal with it. And they sent me away to see if I can find if any of the other kingdoms have dealt with this problem. So I show back up, and I don't know, 4 minutes in, the queen dies and the princess gets kidnapped. I'm like, I don't even know who you guys are, so I don't even care. I don't have any real connection to you. For your death and your disappearance.
You didn't do your job.
I guess that's one of the man. I'm gonna get a bad review this quarter. I don't know
if your employer's dead,
right? And also like you're being framed for the murders. So that
adds another element.
It doesn't help any. I do like some of the things where just like the very first main mission, there's like 4 different endings I can get. Like I could kill this guy, I can kill this guy and his friend. I can knock this guy out and steal the thing I'm trying to get it to, or I can knock this guy out, steal the book, and do this like old worldly brand on his face to mark him as like a traitor. And like even then I was just like I died so much and like I restarted so much because like oh that didn't work out well. All right, trial and error, and I had like 9 things on my weapon wheel like immediately, and I'm just like learning how to play the game, and you need all 9 of those things. So I'm like just like I don't know. I feel like I was just kind of like futzing around a lot and like not really getting into the story of the world that much. So I might be bouncing off that one. I'm just not vibing with it for whatever reason. No, the odd mobile game on this list. I've been playing Among Us, which is a very popular it's on a computer but mobile game as well. The social deception game where they have, you're on the ship and you got 2 people, a certain amount of people who are imposters that are not actually people in the crew, and then you have crew members. And crew members are trying to do all these little tasks to make sure that, the ship is going right, and also trying to find out who these imposters are who are doing sabotages and killing people. And you work together to jettison the imposters out of the ship, and you see them like floating by, and they tell there's like they can tell you this was an imposter, this was not an imposter. And it's a classic like social deception game where people are talking to each other. The tasks are kind of they're small, little like couple button pushes here and there. Like it's just meant to get you around the map and also stand in one spot for a long time sometimes too. Because like there's some of them like you press like a download button and you just wait for it to go, and the whole time you're just standing there like I hope someone doesn't kill me right now. And the whole thing is just like people report when they find a body, and then everyone kind of talks and they have a meeting and they discuss. Like, oh, I saw this person. I saw this. I think it's this person. I think it's that. The problem is like everyone in the world's playing this game right now, and there's just so many people ruining the game in many different shapes and forms. Either be,
sounds about right.
Oh, I'm not the imposter. Drop out. You know what I mean? So like you start the game with 10. Then by the time the game even starts, you have like down to 5, and there's 2 imposters. Like, well, they killed one person.
Geez.
This is over because if the imposters are equal to like the crewmates, the imposters win. It is super fun to be the imposter, though. I will say that. But the crewmate thing is nice too, just because there's so much things to do. Even after you die, you can still complete tasks, so your team can still win. I mean, even though you're dead, your team can still win. So like, there's a lot going on there. It keeps you entertained. The games are really quick. Games get in and out real quick. So I see the appeal for it. I think it would be great if you had 10 people that you knew playing, like all in a room. I haven't done that yet. It's just playing randos online. And even then, I've been having a pretty good time. So I imagine like everyone sitting in a room, like talking to each other, it would be really fun. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that's like kind of everywhere right now. So I figured I'd give it a whirl. Heck, it's free. Yeah. It's actually kind of an interesting story too, because the game came out in like 2018, right? And like just kind of they're like, oh, we're working on a new one, and then somehow Twitch streamers picked up on the game.
What, did Ninja play it or something?
But people started playing the game during COVID lockdown, and it just blew up. And just like, never mind, on Among Us 2, we're just gonna update this one for a while and figure it out. They said a new one is coming out at some point, but like they were thinking about it's gonna be coming out like the next few months or so. Right. So they ended up kind of just stopping it. But yeah, I mean, it's super fun. It's a little different. It's not super. It takes you. I mean, there's technically 3 maps. I've only ever played 1. I don't think anyone else plays either maps. It's kind of like, I feel it's like Counter-Strike. It's like people play that one map over and over and over again. So like the more you learn the map, the more you learn like to look for certain things and things like that. It all works great. But there's always some jerk in the chat's like, it's blue. Like, yeah, what do you think? This blue? It's totally blue. It's totally blue. It's 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 blue. Naruto. Blue. 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 Boobs. 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 Like, okay, well, you're an idiot. I hate you. I'm voting you because you're annoying. And then everyone votes blue out, and you're not an imposter. It's like, oh, perfect. So there's always a.
And people ruin everything.
And, you check into a room and it's like, all right, well, I'm playing with these nuts and yo mama. And,
okay, so it's Trevor and
it's like,
Ben.
Like, oh god. So yeah, it's just like, oh, this is gonna be a fun one. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. So I don't want to talk complete crap about it. The game itself is nice. It's good. That's really, I think, all I've been playing. So Steak is coming out next couple weeks.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Are we close enough yet that you could say new consoles are coming out?
No.
Not yet.
I'm going home.
Not that close.
Going home.
Tell me about it.
I don't need this bullshit.
I wish. On October 9th, FIFA 21 for PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. On October 13th, Remothered Broken Porcelain for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. On October 13th, Torchlight 3 for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. On October 16th, NHL 21 for PS4 and Xbox One. And also on October 16th, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit for the Nintendo Switch.
I think that's going to be very hard to find.
Oh, it's going to be impossible. Well, it's $100, so you know they're
That doesn't mean anything.
they're making not as many of them.
You just described what Nintendo does for everything.
Well, right. But it's more expensive.
How do you think the buzz gets out there?
Absolutely.
People want what they can't have.
It's gonna sell out. Let's see, the 16th. It's gonna sell out that weekend. Next shipment will be Black Friday.
Oh.
That's what Nintendo usually does.
Vomit.
So your PlayStation Plus games for October, you can currently download Need for Speed Payback and Vampire.
Yeah. You played a little bit of Vampire, right?
I was enjoying what I was playing of it. It's a little slow. The combat's not great, but the environments are cool. The story's neat. It's cool. I mean, if you're a Plus member, download it, check it out. I think it's definitely worth some of your time. Then your Xbox games with gold for October. For Xbox One, you can download Slay Away Camp Butcher's Cut from October 1st through the 31st. And Made of Skyer. I think it's Skyer. I think that's how you say it. Skur.
I don't know.
I think it's Skyer. From October 16th through November 15th, which is awesome because I actually almost bought that game
really?
a month ago. It's just like one of those really cool like kind of survival horror type games. I'm just like, I haven't played something like this in a long time, so
there you go.
I'm glad I waited. And then for Xbox 360 or original Xbox, that's also playable on your Xbox One and coming soon to your Series X or S. From October 1st to the 15th, you can download Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, which is great because I never wanted to buy it and I always wanted this track to pick it up. And then from October 16th through the 31st, Costume Quest, which is a ton of fun. It's a what's Tim Schafer's company?
Double Fine.
Double Fine. Thank you. It's a Double Fine game. Yeah, that came out on one Halloween years and years ago on the 360, and I beat it in a day. Like I was like, I played like 7 hours straight. It was a lot of fun. And then for Xbox Game Pass, so last one was rumored, now it's confirmed. Doom Eternal is now on Xbox. So that was on October 1st. Drake Hollow for PC on October 1st. Coming October 8th, Brutal Legend for Xbox.
I've never played that game.
Let me tell you about Brutal Legend for a second.
Gather around, everyone.
It is a me game.
Oh, okay.
To begin in terms of setting and everything. It is so.
It doesn't seem very Japanese.
It's all metal. Well, my other side of me. It's all heavy metal based and everything like that.
Your Japanese side crosses into your metal side. I've seen it.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, they do sometimes cross over. But so when everything they showed off when the game was coming out was this like awesome action game, like over the top action, like just craziness. Like Jack Black is the guy for the main character. I'm like awesome.
Guy for the thing.
Yeah. You do that at the very beginning. You start that way. Then it turns into an RTS.
Weird.
And then like you jump back into like more regular levels, but then you always jump back into the RTS. Well, needless to say, I am terrible at RTS, so I never made it past that first RTS. So I will give this one more try, and we'll see what happens. Also on October 8th, Forza Motorsport 7 for PC and Xbox.
That wasn't already on there?
Nope. That one was not. This one is the super pretty one.
I gotcha.
This is the one that came out with right around the same time as the X. So super pretty.
Gotcha.
And last but not least, also on October 8th, Inkenfell for Xbox and PC.
There you go.
Before we move on, I have a question. So when you were talking about the Xbox stuff and you went into a little spiel about backwards compatibility and how it's on already, you listed all the platforms. Do you own any other shirts?
Not currently.
This is okay, follow-up question.
Currently.
How much are they paying you?
They should give us a Series X if you ask me.
And where's our cut?
Yeah, where's our Series X? Where's our Series X?
Well, according to our YouTube page, we've made 7 cents. So
is that all coming from Microsoft? Because they don't own YouTube.
Honestly, this
guy's a walking billboard over here.
Honestly, it happens. Just keep getting washed.
Yeah, no.
Put it at the top of the pile.
See, I think you're just.
Weeks.
I think you've just been wearing that for 6 weeks straight. Is what's going on.
Well, there's that possibility too. I'm very excited. I'm ready for my Yakuza at my Series X.
Okay.
And Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Extra.
It's time for news or something.
News or something.
2 items. Neither very big.
Small items.
Amazon announced their streaming service,
forgot about
Luna. So
I totally forgot about this.
as exciting as streaming services are, clearly on all of our radars. It's been a rough 2 weeks, guys. So this is kind of more like a Netflix model where you subscribe to channels. Currently, they only have 2 channels, which is Luna Plus and a Ubisoft channel. Luna Plus is $5.99 a month, and I think for that you get access to like 50 games. I don't know what the games are or if they're any good. Ubisoft hasn't announced their pricing yet. 4K streaming is quote-unquote coming soon. And Luna will run on PCs, Macs, Fire TV devices, iOS devices, and Android devices.
Interesting.
I
Like
mean-
iOS being on there, I think is interesting. All the stuff.
I think they're circumventing the App Store by doing it through a browser, is what I
Yeah.
read.
Oh, okay.
So they are getting away from like the thing that stopped Game Pass and got Fortnite pulled off
Yep.
and all that stuff.
So the app is Safari.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
Interesting. The very first thing I saw, I mean, Luna just came out of nowhere, and
Okay.
they showed the controller, which looks just like a Pro controller, this Nintendo Switch Pro controller.
Just
And
a
then,
couple extra buttons.
and then two, if you search Luna right now on Amazon, you also come across a female massager. If you understand what I'm
Ooh.
saying, so
Ooh.
watch your purchase. I'm just doing it right now.
Check it out, kids.
No, I'm trying to see.
Beware of what you're doing.
I'm trying to see if I can get a list of games that are on the Luna Plus channel.
Is it
Oh,
even?
yeah.
Is it even out yet?
I don't know.
Exactly.
you can se-
No one
If
knows.
you're a Prime member, you can sign up for early access. You'll get access first for $5.99,
I'm not that concerned about it.
but no one cares.
I think, it's something they said they were going to do, so I guess they have to follow through on it and give it the old college try. I think Stadia's kind of crapped all over the environment for this type of thing.
Did you guys see that they just came out with a brand new Chromecast and it does not support Stadia?
Yep.
Are you?
Not yet.
What the hell? Like,
It does.
so you
for-
want your own thing to fail? Is what you're telling me?
Yeah, I can't imagine that is that different from the previous Chromecast
Yeah.
that you couldn't make that work.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I think
It would be like the PlayStation releasing, the PlayStation 4 not being able to be compatible with the Vita, which it wasn't.
I was saying, wait, that's a thing that actually happened.
You would plug in the Vita and it would say it would be like unknown device or something.
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
unsupported device, I
Yeah.
think.
that. So there's a precedent for this. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think through no fault of their own, they kind of got screwed by Stadia over-promising and way under-delivering. Maybe the fact that they're doing a subscription model will catch on more than paying $60 for games that you cannot download or own, really.
That's the madness of the whole. That's the madness of Stadia. That was just like, this is kind of interesting to be like, no freaking way.
Yeah.
I have so many digital things I don't technically own. But if I stop paying for, if I stop playing for PlayStation Plus, the games I've purchased, not the
Right.
PlayStation Plus games, but the games I've purchased, I'll still have.
Yeah, right.
So I can't. The whole like $6 a month type of thing. If the games are decent enough and they actually work and
If they have
Whatever.
if they have one game in there that you're interested in playing, $6 a month is totally worth it.
yeah, totally.
But we don't know what the game lineup's going to be for the Luna Plus. We don't know what Ubisoft's going to charge for their channel, so it's all a big wait and see at this point. The fact that they mentioned 4K and Stadia way overpromised, underdelivered on that, I'm not too concerned about that.
I think let's get it running and let's find a model where the people want to get into first, and then we'll figure out how to be like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is 4K and
Right.
60 120 frames and all this other nonsense. Let's get a system that people want to purchase first, and then we will figure that out later. I think would be a prudent way to do it. But there's also been like PlayStation Now that's been around forever, which is basically doing that, and I don't know how that's doing because they never put any numbers up or they still add to it every month.
They keep adding games and stuff, and they haven't pulled it. So I'm assuming it's doing
yeah,
decent.
PlayStation View, which is a TV service, which is we know that went away.
PlayStation View's gone.
So
It costs the same much as a cable subscription.
Yeah, it was insane.
all those do now. It's
They all
Yeah,
do.
yeah. What I was doing was every year during football season, I'd sign up for one of the services, whether it is YouTube TV or Sling or Hulu Plus or whatever, and I would just cancel after the football season's over because I really don't care about TV.
Yeah.
But now they're all $60, and at first they were like $30 a month, which is like, okay,
Right.
that's a nice middle ground between not having cable and having cable, and you're going to run into some stuttering issues probably with streaming, and you accept that for the lowered price, and you just assume the risk that comes with it.
Right.
As a semi-early cord cutter, I'm very pissed at how this whole thing's turned around. Where CBS,
Oh, I
NBC,
hear
like
you.
everyone has their own service now.
Everyone said they just wanted to be able to pay for what they wanted.
Well, I don't want to pay $12 a channel for it.
No, what everyone wanted was to sign up for a TV package where you got 15 channels and you got to pick 15 channels from the full lineup, and that's not how it's worked at all.
Absolutely not. All right,
Who could have seen that coming?
no one. Is that for news?
No,
What else you got?
no. So,
I'm like brain dead right now. I can't even think what's coming up next.
Insomniac talked about the
Oh yes.
remastered Spider-Man coming out with the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition coming to PS5, and it's been announced or revealed, or however you want to term it, that they have recast Peter Parker.
His face.
The face model for Peter Parker. Their explanation for it was with the next generation technology and the up-resing they did, the old face model did not match up with the actor who does the voice and all of the mocap acting for Peter Parker, so they had to find a new face. And the internet was livid, like you've never seen
makes sense.
before.
Add to the list of things I don't understand.
It's something happening that's really inconsequential, so of course the internet's going to get mad.
And obviously, I mean, this is a perfect time for death threats too, because Brian
See,
Intihar, the creative
that's
director.
That's the thing. So look, I admit, I think it's stupid. I don't agree with it. I think it looks. I don't like the new model. Technically, yes, it looks better. But he looks so much younger. He was supposed to be a more mature Spider-Man. He was supposed to be into his.
Yeah,
He's
years.
supposed to be like 24?
something
So
like that.
roughly, yeah. So I mean, but now he looks kind of like he looks closer to Miles' age now, which is like there's supposed to be quite
I don't know.
a distance there. But regardless, I mean, people have the right to be like, all right, whatever, upset and everything, or not like or think it looks bad or whatever. But come on, like the death, like come on, like why are we attacking? Like why are we attacking? Like though, like we could just say it's terrible or whatever.
I'll
But,
say
like why are we attacking?
You're allowed to have an opinion and have feedback, but I don't care what the hell they did. They could have canceled your favorite game series and deleted every copy of the game you own and every save file, and it still doesn't justify threatening people and their families.
No, it's ridiculous.
The other thing I was to say, and what you said was one of the common complaints is, he looks too young. This isn't how the background story going into the first game is supposed to go. But I mean, look at every TV show where people are playing high schoolers. They're all like 23, 24 years old.
And
so
what I was looking up a second ago is Tom Holland, current Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like 24 years old.
No. He looks
So,
super young.
yeah, so, you know what I mean? So, I mean, like,
absolutely. No, I got you.
It's like, but what you're saying is speaking like generalities. Like, yes, he does look younger.
Right, exactly. So, but I mean, and then I don't know. It's just that's the thing. So, but again, it's just that's my opinion. I give my feedback.
Yeah,
because I mean, people should give feedback on things like this because
right.
Because I mean, that's the thing. It's like if you're going to do stuff like this, like you have to anticipate there's going to be some kind of feedback, good and bad, of course. But like again, it's just like. But the whole thing's like, oh my god, like why are we threatening people? Like this is so stupid.
I know.
Like,
right.
It's not that serious. Where it's like
nothing. There's very little in this world that is that serious.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I like the change because I thought the original model was a little off-putting for some reason. I could never put my
a little goofy.
I could
I
never put my finger on it.
I would say I found a side-by-side screenshot of him, and I saw the old one. I was like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's definitely a little goofy looking. Yeah.
And like, how much time did we spend looking at Peter Parker?
That's
in
another
that
part.
game too.
90% of that game, you're in the mask, and the parts where you're not in the mask, I'm pretty sure are all cutscenes.
Yeah.
And the new screenshots for the remastered game looks amazing. So I don't know.
It's one of those things too, where like a lot of people's complaint is like, you already had the face model in the old one. Why couldn't you just port that over and add the new articulation points or whatever it is that you need to capture in a face that more matches Yuri Lowenthal's. But they were also planning for like the sequel to the first game. Like it's very obvious that original face was not going to work for them for the next game. So, I mean, I guess if you're going to change it for the crowd that's going to come in and play this for the first time, they might as well at least have the experience of having one Peter Parker through the whole thing.
Yeah, and who cares? I mean,
Yeah.
They switch. Actors get switched all the time in the movie series, and nothing gets mentioned in the movie. Like, oh, you had plastic surgery. Oh, you look different. No, it's just a new actor.
I did see someone on Twitter be like, imagine being the guy's the old guy's agent.
Yeah,
saying like, hey, sorry, your face isn't good enough for next gen.
You really wanted a new face. So
I don't know how to say this. Your face is perfectly fine for the PS4.
Yeah, you have. I don't know. Let's say you have a Super Nintendo face.
We don't think next gen is quite for your client.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's rough.
Digital Foundry has an amazing video out there right now about the ray tracing that's being used in Spider-Man, and they kind of go into a huge depth of explaining it because a lot of people have been complaining about the ray tracing that they showed off in the screenshots, like showing like the mirrored image looks lower quality and all this other stuff. But
does it turn out a lot of people don't know what ray tracing actually is?
And the fact that it's only supported in 30 FPS mode, 4K 30 FPS, and not in 60.
Ray tracing eats up a shit ton of resources.
And Digital Foundry goes into great detail of like how they make it work, and it's really cool. Like you actually. Like, if you're one of those people who are like, I don't know about this, go watch that video and you'll have a better understanding of how it works and why the choices were made the way they're made.
Yeah, and
it's pretty neat.
And if you're getting that in depth with your critiques, then you're talking about a pretty damn good game. Because
sure.
like I think the shade, it's like the whole like puddles thing from when the game first came out. Like, oh, they remove the puddles.
Yeah, right.
Like, take all that energy that your puddle hatred. And start learning how to make games, and then
go volunteer at an animal shelter,
or yeah, exactly.
Channel your energy into something positive.
Exactly.
Don't sit there and get all that worked up to death threat levels over what a fucking video game looks like.
Every time you want to do that, put a little tally in a book. Be like, okay, that's 5 more minutes I owe. It's like I will leave this. I owe 5 minutes to the world. Or I have $5 for charity.
Go do some push-ups till that anger burns off. Something.
Speaking of side by side, have you guys seen? So today they released the NBA 2K.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Lord,
screenshot
yes.
video. First of all, the video was
holy
impressive.
God.
I saw just like a tweet with like I think it was 4 screenshots.
Oh, just side by sides.
Not even side by sides. It was just screenshots of the next gen version. I'm like, is that a fucking photo of Steph Curry? What the hell am I looking at?
It's insane. And so they also released. You got to see the side by side even because it looks amazing, but then you see the side by side. Holy shit! Like,
it's amazing.
Like the part in the video when like I can't blank on his name. That come from the Dallas Mavericks is coming out of the locker room and he fist bumps Mark Cuban.
Yeah,
Mark
right.
Cuban.
Yeah,
it's clear his name, Mark Cuban. But it's so crazy because when he goes to fist bump him and turns to the side like this side view, I was like, that's photorealistic. I'm like, holy shit! I felt like I didn't even feel like it was a computer model. Like,
yeah,
it was
and
insane.
Not only that stuff, but they have like this little itty bitty like little nuances and things like that I saw when like someone hit a shot over Steph Curry and he like they call time out and they go to the bench and he has his like mouth guard like hanging out the side of his mouth and you just see like the intensity and just like how unbelievably real like the little bit of nuances and stuff like that. It was ridiculous.
Honestly, seeing the screenshots in the video, I was suddenly okay with that costing $10 more.
Okay, you earned this $10.
I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks really fucking good. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
There's been a couple times I've gone like this to pre-order it. I've been so close. I'm like, don't do it, because I bought it on PS4 launch because I was like, because the PS4 one was super impressive from PS3 to PS4. I'm like, oh, I'm buying this. I played it for like 3 days and like that was it. But like, so it's like I'm trying to resist, but at the same time I'm like, oh, I really just want to see it on my own screen. Like, oh my god,
watch it again. Just like watch all the people in the background too. Just like how this naturally reacting. It's not like the classic crowd animations where like 12 people are doing the same thing. It's like the same 12 people doing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
It's like some people are kind of like standing up. Some people are like moving in front of their seat. It's amazing.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
That's all I had for the news.
Okay. This is going to be a shorty. Because the thing I have to present is actually also kind of short. So, despite what I said...
Steak needs to chug this beer before we finish.
Chug. So, before...
I don't think that's going to happen.
Shotgun it.
Before I came here today, I hit the Wayback Machine. I listened to episode 98
Yikes.
90.
What we
which
doing?
was
98.
February of this
Was
year.
that when we did our predictions for next gen?
Our next gen predictions.
Oh,
Awesome.
Shit.
And here we are with the results.
You did what I thought about doing,
Yeah,
but then
so-
just decided I'm just going to continue on my life.
We're no, I got some time. I really don't, but I found some time.
I'll say I worked damn near 60 hours last week. I don't have time.
So, recap them. There's a couple of questionable things in here.
You're questionable.
I'll go talk to you guys about.
I
We
don't
do
allow
have
it.
we do have a definitive winner either way on this one.
Oh shit.
So,
I don't even remember.
couple.
anything.
I didn't remember anything either. That's why I had to go back and watch this show.
Awesome.
So, yeah, a couple of things that are really funny. Like that was in February. We were talking about like how E3 is gonna look different this year, and how Jeff Keighley,
sure did.
he's not doing anything for E3, and like we don't know how it's gonna look like this year. It's gonna look really funny.
We nailed it.
And we should be getting some next gen news any day now. We've been doing this since February. There was one COVID comment from Art because it was just starting at that point in time. So like, what a different world.
You people wonder why I had crates of toilet paper.
You knew about it back then.
Yeah,
All right, so
I knew how this shit was gonna go.
All right, I'm excited because I really don't remember any.
I'll try. Let me move back so you guys can see the results.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so first question was we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions, and we did a tiebreaker. And the first question was PlayStation 5 release date. So the answer was November 12th.
Right.
Steak, you said November 6th. I said November 13th.
Ooh.
Art said the under because he's a dick. And
Would you rather have said like today? Actually, I'm pretty sure that's what I did say.
You said Friday. Yeah, so it was like February 12th.
For the record, we were playing it with Price is Right rules.
Of course.
Closest without going over. So Mike was closest, but he was over, so he's out.
Right, so Steak won that one. November 6th.
Holy shit, I won something. Look at that.
Xbox release date. November 10th is the answer. Steak had the 13th. I had the 20th. Art had the 17th. No winners there. We're all over. Womp womp.
Ooh.
The next question. Give us a launch game for the system. Here's what I got to do. I do have a little bit of a question on this one. Steak, you gave us 2, one for each system. You ended up confirming that you want to do the PlayStation one, which was Killzone, which is a negative.
Yeah.
I said the new Assassin's Creed game, which was correct. Art said Horizon Zero Dawn 2, which I don't think counts.
No,
Nope.
that's
It's next year.
that's months away from launch. That's doesn't count.
All right. Next, combined MSRP for the two systems. Here's also where we have a question. The one I think we should do the 2 high end ones, right? Because that's what we're anticipating.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's where I calculated. The combined MSRP for the 2 systems were $999.98. Art $948. I had $974.98. Steak fucking spiked it. $999.98. 100% on the money. Perfect.
He must have guessed first.
No, he gets last.
You guys gave it to me.
Yeah, because
that's
we're like,
actually what I wanted.
You said you had 3 different answers, and none of them were the ones we already took.
Yep.
So you actually did some thinking about it to go through there. Next, we did a wild card. It's a random projection you think is going to come true with the next gen launch. Steak had Xbox was going to have more games than PlayStation. That is not true. I said that there's going to be a Pro controller launching with the PlayStation 5. That is not true. Art said that there's not going to be a touchpad on the new PlayStation 5 controller, which is not true because I have one. However, you also said my other one I was thinking about was a reduced light bar, which is true because you have this on the sides. So that would have been true. So we don't the tiebreaker. We don't even.
Sorry,
need.
it was wishful thinking.
Yes, tiebreaker. We don't even need. Steak won. Steak got 2.
Steak won something.
2 out of 5. Now this doesn't matter.
It's a good year. When Steak wins because I go strong.
One more.
Have you lived through this year, motherfucker?
Yeah. One more sign of the apocalypse in 2020.
I'll take it down.
But
you also guessed the highest price number. That's not good.
the tiebreaker was the combined amount of launch games. I said Steak said 28. I said 23. Art said 16. Now I have a list of them, and some of them are kind of questionable. This doesn't make a difference anyway. This is just for a point of conversation.
Sure.
I wrote down 14-ish. So here's what I got: PlayStation 5. Assassin, and I didn't. If they were both on both systems, I didn't count them twice.
Right.
So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Astrobot Playroom, Call of Duty Cold War, which I think is technically launch date.
Yeah.
13.
Demon Souls, Destruction All Stars, Dirt 5, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Godfall, Spider-Man and Miles Morales, Sackboy, and I put Watch Dogs Legion in there. It's like a week difference. Whatever. The only
a week I'll say is close enough. February, which I'm guessing is going to be Horizon, is not close.
right.
Enough.
For Xbox, the only other different ones, a game called The Falconeer. Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tetris Effect Connected and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Because that's only is that Xbox first, or how's that working?
Well, I mean, Series X first. I mean, it's coming out on PS4, but PS5 version's not coming out till March.
I couldn't find every list I looked at was different. So and
They
they're all from
just-
5 days ago
yeah,
to
they
Oh, good. I'm glad there's conclusive information out there on this.
yeah. So
Nothing about the communication in this next gen stuff has been, confusing at all.
there was 5 more games for Xbox I came across I've never even heard of, and looked up. You're like, yeah, there's not a release date for these, so I don't know what you were talking about with those. So that gives us 14 unique titles out of that, which is pretty slim overall. But there's a lot of really good stuff here, though. So
I don't think it's that huge of a deal with backwards compatibility, though.
exactly
Right.
It's not like when PS4 and Xbox One launched, where my PS4 sat in a box for months because none of the launch games I had an interest in, and it wasn't until Trials came out that I finally unboxed it and started playing.
Wow.
Shit, that was one of my first games too I played. But not on there is Cyberpunk's not on there, but it's gonna be. There's a bunch of games to play. Like Avengers is gonna have the cross gen,
Right.
whatever. There's a bunch of other games that are on there, but not. The way we defined launch games on that podcast was games you couldn't play before the launch came out. You know what I mean? So it's just
Right.
obviously, Cyberpunk is not necessarily. It's gonna be, you can play it on there, but there's no actual next gen version
Right.
yet.
Right.
So it doesn't count, things like that. So it's actually, looking at that, I was kind of surprised how short those lists were, to be completely honest with you. But like you said, you can play a whole bunch of old stuff on there, so
Right.
who cares? And it's gonna look prettier. And you got the PlayStation Plus collection to play if you want to do that stuff, and all kinds of super fun things to do with your new boxes that hopefully you're having sent to your house.
Word.
So
Oh,
stick-
forgot about Gears Tactics for Xbox.
Gears Tactics was on there,
I know
but
it's
Gears
on
Tactics was
PC.
on PC
Yeah,
beforehand,
but
so that
it's
didn't fit into their
first-time
criteria.
console.
And the upgrade of Gears 5 and Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Well,
and,
sure, all those upgrades and everything, but this will be the first. But this is it's launching on Xbox.
Okay, so-
for that. So I mean, not that it matters.
So 15, and we're still all over.
I was just thinking. I was just trying to think.
Can you think of one more?
If there's anything we were missing,
Exactly one more.
it wouldn't matter. I still won.
Madden doesn't count.
Why would it count? They haven't put out a new game in 5 years.
True. I just gotta go cancel my pre-order.
Burn. It's alright. Next time we go pick up something, you'll be fine.
Well, I was gonna. I'm starting to tally a list of. I'm looking at things I want to trade in, because I think I'm gonna keep my PlayStation just to make sure everything transfers over first before I get rid of that one. My Xbox, I feel totally fine moving that thing, because literally everything transfers to the hard drive, no problem. Like saves.
Oh yeah,
everything.
everything in clouds are out. Saves on the cloud.
Correct. And PlayStation today, I backed up all my stuff to the cloud, so I'm probably fine there too. And I have all my stuff on my hard drive on that one too. So it sounds like everything is going to be plug and play with these hard drives for expanded storage and playing previous gen games, no problem. So it sounds like I'm ready to rock and roll. But I still might be playing a PlayStation for a while, or at least until that day. So, but I am like
I said, I just need to make sure that my new Kingdom Hearts game that comes out on the 13th does work on my PS5.
Yeah, that would be nice too.
I guess no one's saying shit. I don't want to assume either. I just can't.
Yeah, and
You can.
And Microsoft sent out a bunch of Series X's to a bunch of influencers, whatever it is, and PlayStation sends some PlayStation 5s to some Japanese influencers too. And we got a little bit of gameplay and things like that, and how quick it is, but we still don't know anything about UI, and we still don't know. There's the quote of 99% of things are being backwards compatible. That means there is 1% of games out there,
right?
And there are thousands of games available on the PlayStation 4, so we might be talking about 100 games or so.
Right.
Do I care about any of those, or is it just who cares? Or is it going to be updated later on to figure it out? Which just sounds like that might be the case too. But since last time we spoke, I did switch my pre-order for Cyberpunk to Xbox. Y'all talked me into that one, and I'm also buying the camera. So
nice.
Because the trade-in for the camera right now is $25, so I'm basically spend $25 on the camera.
That's nice.
Whatever, and I don't have to deal with the inevitable dongle debacle, which is what I'm calling it from now on. The
That's
dongle
what I'm
debacle.
saying. Like whatever. Like I
think today someone finally posted a picture of the back panel of the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it had 2 USB ports, an HDMI, Ethernet power. I think that was about it.
So nothing proprietary back there.
No.
I think so.
Interesting.
So that's why, I'll probably get a connector that goes to USB then. But it's like, they're supposed to be free. You're supposed to be able to request one. Like, how long will that take?
Yeah.
And will you actually get it?
You got to eat 12 boxes of cereal to get it. Cut out the UPCs and give them proof of purchase.
Whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah,
We're spending how much money?
It's the camera's $50. I'm spending $25 on it. And when I do the whole trade in,
it's gonna match my PS5 now with a nice white.
Have they announced yet that I can take my goddamn side panels off my PS5 and get black ones? Because
nope.
Well, there's that mysterious nut everyone's talking about.
The what?
You can see. So I guess inside the system, like someone was zooming in like on the Japanese stuff, and there's like this like nut that's like in one of like the grooves that you can see. So everyone's trying to speculate what that is. Everyone thinks that might be how you
Pop off the sides.
Either that or that's what you have to remove to switch out the hard drives.
Okay.
If you want to upgrade the hard drives and
They
stuff.
do. They historically make them easy. Yeah, they historically make them easy to
pretty
get them out in.
Yeah.
Well, and I think for this one, I thought they said the design of the PS5 was you couldn't necessarily upgrade the hard drive, but there was an additional slot to put in an additional hard drive.
Well, that could be what it is. It might be just so you could pop that off to stick it in because because that new fast memory is like kind of like almost like a RAM card. It looks like it doesn't.
It's a M2 drive. It's it's flash memory depending on what type. It's
right.
Yay big.
I think the ones I've seen are like like a RAM, so which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, they've been using them, and like if you took Melissa's computer apart, you'd probably find one in there. Her computer's thin enough that it probably has.
Right, got it. That makes sense.
So today is what? October.
Yes.
6th. So we're posting it. We actually recorded a little early this time around.
Posting on the 9th.
7th, 8th, 9th. Yes.
We'll be exactly 1 month away from next show.
So we got about 2 more shows before it comes out. We're gonna be. I think that means we're gonna be recording the week it comes out.
Maybe. We might record.
Can we record and play at the same time? We're gonna do like what we did during the lockdown. We'll just do all on the screens in our own houses. No one's gonna pay attention.
Man, you think I'm distracted by my phone when we do this in person? Yeah, you put a new piece of hardware in front of me and see what happens.
Well, if that's the case, as long as things don't get canceled, we'll have them on display for you guys when that comes that week.
Yeah, I'm excited to get hands on. I mean, we're a month away, so like. This is when the nerdy minutia stuff starts with like UI and what does that nut mean? What's like if there's any faceplate things and the inevitable bit of someone giving us some bad news before launch because it happens all the time. All the pre-orders are in.
I'm still waiting for a cancellation from Walmart.
God,
that's the one I'm waiting for. Thank God. I feel good about my Target one, but I am still worried about that Walmart one. Which is good because the Target has my headset as well. So.
Oh. Very nice.
That's what I feel good about.
All right. I don't know. Any other new business? I think that's it. I think we actually usually when we say we got a short one, it's been like 2 hours. We spent like an hour and a half.
We're still just under an hour.
All right.
It's really 50% larger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, actually.
I thought this would be.
Go on a little longer than
I thought we'd be stretching for like 45 minutes here.
I thought so.
Speaking of gigantic, can we talk about just like for 2 minutes is how ginormous the PlayStation 5 is?
Oh
for real.
Jesus. You guys see where I have my systems now.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're both going to fit there. Like, the Xbox will because it's the same length.
Yeah.
It's just taller.
Yeah.
No problems. That is a fatty.
It is, yeah. Like, it's... And, like, again...
if you put both machines in that spot, you're probably going to have heat problems.
See, that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried... I think I could probably fit it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm worried about.
But should you?
Right, exactly. Because the Xbox, obviously, the top part of it, I'll have it shooting out towards the PS5, and then... But it's going to be, like, right there. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe tip.
Yeah, so I got to figure out what the hell I'm going to do.
I have a pretty big entertainment center in my game room. So, and, like, literally the PlayStation only fits in 2 holes. And, like, it's not convenient. Yeah. That's what she said, too. So, like... the Xbox, like I said, I have a place where I can put it vertical, where I think it looks way better vertical. I'm gonna put the few bit of games I have like right next to it. It's gonna look great. The PlayStation I think is gonna be right above it, and it's gonna be like just kind of there, I think. And then I'm gonna figure out things that are replacing those areas. Like where am I gonna put that stuff? I don't know. I guess I'll figure out when I get it. But
that's pretty much what it's gonna be when I get it. Trying to figure out because I I can't with the way my thing is, but I would love to have both of them vertical. I would love that.
I said I measured, and there's not, unless I'm putting it on the side of the thing, like outside of the boxes of my entertainment center,
Right.
I can't do vertical for the tower, for that one. Xbox I can, but not that one.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do because I've been kind of holding off on finalizing my media install in my basement.
Yeah.
Since, this is all coming about. And my plan was to kind of be how I had it at my old house, where I mount my TV on my wall, have a floating shelf above it, and, run the cables through the wall, and looks all pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know if a floating shelf can hold this goddamn thing.
What's it? The Xbox is 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So I think the PlayStation's about the same.
Well, it's like I had a good old-fashioned IKEA floating shelf at the old place, and all I had on it was a Blu-ray player and the Switch while I had that. And even then I felt like I saw like the shelf was kind of like tilting forward a little bit. The fucking PS5 will rip that shit right out of the wall then.
Oh, that'll be destroyed.
That would be oh my god.
So I think I'm going to have to try to find some kind of system where I get like some angle brackets to put a shelf up.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be as free and clear as I wanted, but I won't have to worry about, a $500 piece of hardware falling on a TV and then falling on the floor.
Yeah, that'd be bad. That'd be really
Yeah, it'd be really bad if I broke a TV and a PS5 on the same day.
I
think I would just check out.
I'd be pissed.
I would just get in a car and drive.
Yeah.
I would hear you from my house.
Yep.
My reaction might be to pick up the shattered remains of the TV and just smash the wall in with it. That's the other thing. The other part of the thing was figuring out my whole TV situation, because I think, as I've mentioned before, I have burn-in on my OLED from Rainbow Six.
That's insane.
Oh, wow.
And plus I was thinking new TV with the launch of these systems, because,
That was another couple of $1,000.
But I think...
Spending how much? Why not?
Yeah. I think I'm leaning towards... I'm at least going to wait till Black Friday. If not, longer than that. I'll deal with the stupid burn-in. It's fine. It's one of those things, like, I feel like unless I point it out to someone, I'm the only one who notices it, because I know it's there.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, if you guys hadn't heard anything about it and you came over and, like, watched something on the TV, you'd probably would pay no mind to it. But
Well, next time I come over, I'll be like, God damn it, Art. That's bad.
I can see the Tachanka symbol.
you can't see any symbols, but you can see the little boxes at the top where all the icons go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I'm really hoping. Let's talk about burn-in. Like if I can't even imagine like the screen retention on this old LG we have in our fireplace room. If that was my main gaming thing, it would just be constant. Like it would have died by now. And I'm really waiting for that one to die. Then I'm gonna move the TV in my room, my game room, into there. And I'm gonna buy myself a new one.
Yes.
Is the plan ultimately.
Like, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is, from what I've been reading, is the OLEDs are still the best picture quality.
Well,
and, best reviewing. I think what I'm going to do is probably buy another OLED when I do decide to upgrade. But I'm going to go through Best Buy and buy their extended warranty on it.
Oh, there you
Their
go.
warranty covers burn-in.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's good to know.
Well, I hear the CXs don't burn in.
I heard it's better.
I heard it's a lot better.
Which, that's what I've been looking at.
Yeah.
But I at this point, I would just shell out the money for Best Buy's warranty to cover my ass.
Oh, no, I don't.
I've only had this TV for not that long. 3 years, maybe?
That's a bummer.
It really it is super annoying. But yeah.
All right, so God knows what's going to happen between now and next time. So
I'm sure there's gonna be some big news.
but we are a month away. It is October,
I'm
and
sure
we
there'll be-
are a month away.
I'm sure there'll be some dumb bullshit the internet gets all worked up
I
about.
can't wait. See you next time, Stickheads.